Yep.
Hello,
Oh, hold on.
and welcome to the first episode of Fallen Dragons, a very special egg. My name's Mike. I'll be your DM for the night. And um, why don't we go around and introduce our players and tell us who you are, who your characters are, and a little bit about what your characters do. And we'll start with Melody.
My name is Melody. My character is Inya Amakar. I am a cleric and I like to fight dragons.
Okay. And now we'll go over to Dusty.
Hi, my name is Dusty. I'm playing Smite the Tiefling Warlock, and Smite likes to make deals in the shadows.
Ooh.
And now up to Aurora.
Or Tina.
Or
You know
or
what?
T
Yeah, this is my work thing. I mean, my school thing.
or Tina.
My character's name is Esma, and she is a genasi. And she's a bard that likes to play music and have fun. And she used to love sugar, but now she's scaling back, so she doesn't love sugar so much. I think she had a little bit too much sugar one time,
One time.
or a couple times.
Once several times.
um okay. And I will give you a quick overview of the world these characters are playing in. Um, this is a homebrew, 5th edition D&D, and the world they're in is called Azureon. It's a world of 4 continents, 8 kingdoms, comprising 8 kingdoms and 4 islands that they know of currently. And
Mike, did you want me to do the intro? Because we didn't do it.
yeah, um, that's basically a quick overview. So now we can jump into the episode.
Alright. I can't hear anything. Can you guys hear anything? Okay, I think the intro's not playing music. We'll just have to do it next time, Mike. I don't want to try to figure out why the music's not playing. So we'll do it next time. Oh, you guys can't hear me. Sorry, I muted myself. The intro's not playing music, so I don't know what's going on. It might be the video recording. So we can just do it next time. I don't want to try to figure it out right now.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone. Technical difficulties.
It just played a little bit ago.
Yeah, it might be something that when I uploaded it to OBS, it didn't upload right. But I don't
Okay.
want us to spend 30 minutes for me trying to figure
Yeah.
out why it didn't upload right.
Yeah. as the episode opens, we see the inside of the Shattered Oak Inn in Aird, the capital of Ardmore. It's around early afternoon, slightly after lunchtime. And the lunch rush is beginning to slow. And at a table in the corner by the hearth, we see 3 adventurers sitting around the table, nursing wounds and bruises and drinking on tankards of ale, because the 3 of you have just come back from a job you were supposed to do, and it didn't go quite the way you wanted it to. So not only are you battered and bruised and cut up, you didn't get the money you wanted from the job either.
But we had an adventure.
That's true.
It was an experience.
Upon reporting this to the king and queen, they were somewhat sympathetic, but they did say that at some point they wanted that keep cleared out, because, as you know, they have plans for it. And they also said, if you want the money, if you want the gold, at some point you have to complete the job. And so what kind of conversation are you guys having now as you're finishing your lunch and nursing your ale?
Esma had already wolfed everything down, and now she's making up a song with her lute about our adventures. Our misadventures.
That was a tough battle we went up against that last round.
It was fun.
I feel like it was a good learning experience to know when to run away.
Definitely.
You learned it faster than us.
I was rolling really badly, and the DM was nailing everything, so.
Well,
damn you, Mike. Damn you.
Running away is a useful skill from time to time. It sort of kills overconfidence, you might say. It proves yet again the monsters are stronger than you are. So
Esma's just glad that she lived to tell the tale and to write a song. She's hoping it'll make it big, and it'll please the crowd.
Well, um, as you're um, sitting around the table, sipping your ale and trying to figure out ways to move without it hurting all that much, uh, a man in bright green robes rushes in the door and goes up to the bartender, and you can see them talking, but from where you are, you can't hear them. And after a few minutes, you see the bartender nod and you see the man in the green robes walk back out the door. When he does, you see the bartender walk over to the wall by the door and post a piece and nail a piece of parchment to the wall by the door and then go back to the bar.
Is the bartender the genie?
In fact, it is.
You your
So,
daddy?
yeah, Esma's looking at him with
Uh,
moon eyes, and then her music's starting to slow down, and like she's forgetting to hit a note because she's looking at him and going, "Oh, he's so cute," in her head. I don't know if she says it out loud, but at least she's thinking it.
and that 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 leads me to a point. For those of you who are new to the stream and don't know, these three have been adventuring together for a while. And they've gotten themselves in a fair bit of trouble from time to time. Um, Much of the background you will find out as we go along through the episodes. Um, so if they mention something that is from the past, just hold on and you'll find out, or you can ask questions in the chat as long as it doesn't um, cause problems in the current episode.
Well, Esma's boy's hungry, so she always looks at guys or girls, so she's just hungry for affection, and she's really interested in the bartender.
And
I would say more thirsty, but how old are you?
I am 16 in the game, not in real life. Hormones.
And their, as a point of reference, their little group is known as the Fallen Dragons, which is also the name of the stream. Um, they have built somewhat of a reputation
That was that.
for for dealing with dragon related issues, because just after they first started adventuring, they got lucky enough to kill a white dragon. And so that sort of word traveled around, and now they tend to do jobs related to dragons in one way or another.
It's better than fighting skeletons and other stuff because we totally didn't do a good job of that one.
No, we didn't.
Not great with the undead.
There's always things to learn when you're adventuring. So, after you see the bartender um, nail the post up on the wall, do any of the three of you go look at it?
Well, I'm curious because we need to make some money. I'm gonna go have a look.
Okay. So Smite gets up from her chair and goes over to the posting on the wall by the door.
What does Smite see?
This is what the piece of parchment says. Hello, my name is Konos. You don't know me, but I'm a wizard from just south of here. And I am in need of a group of brave adventurers because I need to procure a very special egg. And because of my experiments and my responsibilities currently, I cannot retrieve it myself. This is a very dangerous job given the type of egg that this happens to be. But I am also willing to compensate you well for the danger you would undertake in bringing me this egg. This is a job that needs to be done as rapidly as possible because my experiments depend on it. For those who are interested, I am willing to pay 2,500 gold plus, as is standard, you keep anything you find along the way. If you are interested, tell the bartender and he will get a message to me.
Does Mike tell everyone that, or is Mike keeping this to herself?
Don't know yet. Cordially, Konos. And that's everything the notice says. So, Smite, you're muted.
Is that Kronos with a K?
No, it's C. Conos is his name.
Gotcha.
So after you read, after you read the parchment, what do?
Well, it sounds like a job I couldn't do by myself. I'm gonna go talk to my party member. So I'm gonna go tell my party members what the notice says and see if they might be up to the task. And I'm sure that Esma would love to have a good excuse to speak with the bartender, so.
How'd you know? That's my note for the whole thing.
Okay. So you relate everything you read to your party members, and what do you guys think?
Esma says yes. And she said, "Can I talk to the bartender?"
I go, sure, okay, let's go.
I mean, we don't have a lot of other job options right now, considering we failed on that last one.
And we have to pay for. We got to replenish our money because we bought animals.
Is that a good opportunity to talk about them?
Yeah, since you mentioned them, where are they currently?
So Snakey is upstairs. It's my snake. He's a magical snake. He can talk to me. He's upstairs in his cage. His real name is Snake Eyes, but I call him Snakey.
And Linux is right beside me, waiting for his breakfast.
And he's really a lynx, but she calls him Linux.
Linux is the Link's name.
Yeah.
Actually, this would be lunch, not breakfast.
Oh, lunch. Okay, he's waiting for lunch.
In fact, you forgot to order lunch for him. So you might want Esma to mention that to the bartender as she goes up to talk to him.
Yes, Esma. Ask the bartender to get him a rare steak.
A rare snake. Steak or snake? Steak. So she rushes over. Well, no, she doesn't rush over. She tries to prance towards him, seductively, but she's not quite there yet. She looks very awkward as she walks sexily to the bartender, trying to look inviting.
and he sees you coming and with sort of a half smile, he shakes his head. This is a good time to mention that this stream and this channel are definitely 18 plus. Some of the topics that we get into are definitely not suited for children. And if there's anything that we do that you guys have issues with, feel free to not watch. Please don't make derogatory comments. Because just because you wouldn't do something doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't. So
What? This is an 18 and up channel? Oh my goodness.
them,
Esma can't even be a part
Yeah.
of this.
yeah,
What?
Yeah.
Everybody can watch us.
that means Esma's too young to be on the channel. So,
Esma doesn't care. She's just having fun.
Are
So-
Genasi years longer than regular human years, though? Shorter?
I think so.
I thought they lived about the same length of time, but I haven't
No,
checked,
this is longer than a year,
checked that.
I believe.
I believe it is longer.
Hmm.
How much longer? I forget.
Well, given the trouble you get into, that's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Uh, so,
What? She gets in trouble? She's just a sweet bird.
Yeah, I'm a cleric, so I'm sweet and innocent too.
right. So smite, that obviously means you're the only one that isn't innocent in this party.
Well, the things I did with a Titan, I don't know if I'm quite so innocent anymore.
Smite, you're muted again. There we go.
Not so innocent.
Yeah. Well, Smite's a half demon. How innocent can you be?
I was gonna say,
But-
yeah, you're a demon.
But
It comes with the territory.
yeah.
All Esma sees is everyone's lovable and she loves everyone.
So you finally awkwardly make it up to the bar, and the bartender is busy wiping down the bar and wiping out glasses that people have used and such like that.
Okay, Esma leans close to the bar, trying to entice her with his chest, and she's like, "Hey, I saw that post about Pronos. We are so interested in it." And then she smiles her pearly white teeth, and she plays with her hair, but she's not quite good at it. And if she could blush, she would be blushing, but because of her blue skin, you can't see her blushing. But she is completely blushing right now.
If you're blushing red under blue skin, does that turn you purple?
Maybe, like she has splotches of purple.
The bartender is surprised that the three of you would be interested in this. He says, "Are you sure you guys are healthy enough to go after a dragon egg?"
She plays with the top of the bar and she's like, We play with danger. Danger is fun, especially if they're chaotic.
And as you do this, um, your shoulder twinges from the battle you were just in. As you reach out onto the bar, your shoulder twinges.
And then she flutters her eyes like rapidly, and she can't do it very well, but she's just trying to rapidly flutter her eyelashes
Cause,
at him.
'cause trying to distract him from the grimace you made when
Well,
your
she's
shoulder twitched.
at the same time, she also kind of thinks that he might actually like that.
So, um, he's he says he will deliver a message to Konos, and he will Konos will probably be back sometime tomorrow.
And then Esma's like, well, since we don't start till possibly tomorrow, can I play tonight at your bar? We need some money.
Yeah, I can do that.
Then she goes, yay! And she jumps up and she rushes to her party to tell them the news. And then she
Uh,
smiles and waves back.
well, before you run off, he's like, uh, would dinner rush be good for you, I guess?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Also, we need a steak, I guess. Or is it a snake? A steak. I think a rare steak, but it can't be a rare snake. So, yeah, it's a rare
Uh,
steak. We want a rare steak. And
the
then she smiles and runs away.
the bartender looks down at Anya's cat and goes, it would probably eat either one if you give it to it.
But don't hurt my snaky.
So far, your two animals haven't interacted very much. So, a few minutes later, the bartender floats over with a plate with a rare steak on it and hands it to Enya and floats back behind the bar. So, Enya, you're now holding a plate with a rare steak in it.
I say
Ah,
drop on the ground and let Lennox eat it.
okay. So, the cat happily tears into the almost raw steak. And you guys, uh, what do, what do you guys want to do with the rest of your day?
I want to say that those little familiars eat better than a lot of other humanoid creatures.
Yeah,
Esma just wants to wander off, look for fun, make some music, and maybe also play with her snake. But really her snake, not the snake steak.
Snake steak.
yeah, maybe you should practice before your show tonight.
Yes, because Esma wants to play the new song she wrote about the misadventures. She's calling it the misadventures of the fallen dragons.
No.
The other two in your party can't wait to hear it.
This last week has been kind of rough for me, so I'm just gonna hang out at the local inn I always know there's good gossip around. I'll see if I can hear anything too.
True.
And I'm going to go to the temple.
All right. Are you going to come back for dinner and Esma's show, or are you just gonna?
Yes, I'm going to come back for the
Okay.
dinner.
Okay. So with that, and you get up, um, you're just gonna walk off, or you're gonna tell your party what you're doing, or
I'm telling both of them what I'm doing.
uh,
Have fun with that.
Oh, I will.
and you walks out the door and heads to the temple, um, a place you've now been several times, so you easily make your way from the end of the temple. And we will get back to you in a second. So, Smite is just going to hang around the inn for the afternoon or till dinner.
I think Smite said she's going to go listen to gossip, right?
No, I'm hanging out at the inn. I'm gonna drink all day and see if I hear anything interesting.
Okay. And Esme's practicing her new song. Are you gonna hang out with Smite, or are you gonna wander around, or while you're
Me?
yeah.
She likes to do her own thing. She likes to people watch, so she's gonna probably just walk around, play music, watch people, head back a little bit earlier for dinner, eat something, eat some ice cream, and then get ready for her show.
Leave me a
Well,
bowl of ice cream.
She's like, alrighty. And then she goes in and she scoops you some ice cream and says, see you later.
and it's about, by this time, it's about 2 in the afternoon. So you've got about 4 hours before you need to be back at the inn.
Not enough time.
Never. Just never enough time in the day.
No, that's talk to the sun and the moon and see how that goes. Uh, but so while you guys are, well, Esme is wandering around the city, people watching and playing music. Um, and Smite is, are you just sitting at your table by the hearth, or do you go up to by the bar, or where are you hanging out?
I don't necessarily want people to sit at my table, so I think I'm gonna go sit at the bar. Plus, the bartender's closer.
Yeah. Um, so you pick up your tankard and go to sit on a stool by the end of the bar. Um, as many days as you guys have spent at this inn, the bartender recognizes all of you and um, sort of gets the idea that you're the one that generally wrangles Esme most of the time.
I don't know if I want that responsibility.
Does Esma need to be wrangled? Just a little
Sometimes.
bit.
Sometimes.
I'm not a
Every day of
parent.
her life.
I'm not a parent or a pet owner for a reason.
Well, the bartender floats over to you and what level is your tankard of ale right now?
Well, it's almost down to the bottom, so I slam the rest and tell the bartender, Daddy Genie, I'm planning on getting drunk today. Keep them coming.
He goes, now why would you be doing that? And a rather half sarcastic, half laugh sort of statement.
I know you've met my friends.
Yeah. And he also notices the bruises and such. And, yeah. Have a rough day, did you?
A little bit. Folks need to learn when to run away.
Well, yeah. The lack of that skill gets a lot of adventurers killed, actually.
Yeah. I'm not ready to die yet.
Well, considering I can't do it, I don't know much about that. But from what I've heard, it's not a real pleasant activity.
Well, yeah, I'm not ready for it yet.
So,
I'm sure the other planes are lovely, but I'm not exactly sure where I'd end up.
this is true. Being a tiefling, you're likely to end up in Avernus, and you really don't want to do that.
Not today.
It's kind of warm down there.
I don't like being hot.
Yeah. So, well, if you're going to be at the bar all day, at least I'll have company to talk to. And with that, he floats over. He takes your tankard, floats over to a large barrel at the other end of the bar, fills your tankard and brings it back. There you go.
Cheers. Thanks,
Back.
Daddy.
So you're sitting there drinking. Esme's wandering around town. So what is Inya doing?
Heading towards the temple.
Well, by now you get to the large front door of the temple. You're not that far away. So
I knock on the door and walk in.
Knock on the door. About a minute later, the door opens and this human male in white robes with gold trim, who looks like he can't be more than 25. Hello, I'm Herrick. How can I help you?
Well, I am Enya, and I've been here not several, but quite a few times lately. And I'm just coming to do a little reading.
Okay. And with that, he sort of ushers you in the door and closes the door. Do you need assistance or do you pretty much know your way around?
I know my way pretty much around.
Okay. Well, then I will leave you to it. If you do need assistance, I'm the one on shift right now, so I will be basically stationed right here. So you
Okay.
know, you know where to find me.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I head back to the library area.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you
Just looking.
just browsing?
Just reading up on Apollo.
Well, you go you go to the back wall of the section you're in, and there's a entire shelf of books on Apollo. Um, so you can easily browse 3 or 4 books. Is there anything you're specifically wanting to find out, or is this
No, just stuff in general.
okay? Well, as you're reading along, you find out that there are 3 specific rituals that you have to do to become a high priest of Apollo, or high priestess, rather. And on top of those 3 rituals, the priests, the clerics here have to approve you. That's after you see if the rituals are successful or not. One is the first one is a ritual of cleansing.
Okay.
The second one is called the ritual of connection.
Just a second. Okay.
And the third one is called the ritual of aid.
Of what? Of what?
Aid.
AI,
Aid.
AID?
A, yeah, aid.
Okay.
And uh, the more you stay here and the more you read up on things, the more you'll find out about those specific rituals. Um, because um, there aren't really books about them. You have to specifically talk to higher level clerics because they need to assist you in them. but you spend the next 4 hours or so um, reading up on Apollo and reading um, the Greek history about who he was and what he did and the battles he fought and how he became a god to begin with. And you are interrupted by the sunlight coming through a stained glass window to your right, about 6 feet above your head. It's coming in at such an angle that you assume that it's starting to get late and the sun is beginning to go down. So you figure it's about time that you head back to the inn for dinner and Esme's performance. So, what do you want to do?
I put my books back and I head out until Henrik,
Herrick.
goodbye.
Okay. He says, I hope you had an enjoyable afternoon and maybe I'll see you again sometime.
Yes, I hope so.
With that, you head back across the main square to the inn, where Smite is currently still sitting at the edge of the bar.
Anna, over here.
the genie bartender floats his way over. And what would you like?
I will take some rum.
Okay. Do you sit down next to Smite at the end of the bar?
Yes.
Okay. So he pours you a tankard of rum and sets it in front of you.
I look at Smite and I say, "Have you been drinking all day?"
Of course. What did you do?
I went right up on my god.
Sounds great. It was so
Uh,
for you. That's
As
great.
Smite doesn't have one, she's like thinks that's a little odd, but all right.
Not exactly into Apollo.
You
So that Paulo is the one that gives me the healing power to heal you when you get injured.
Smite, you are in fact not into gods in general. As
That's your thing. That's great for you. Not for me.
there's
And
a
go for you.
there's a couple of demons you're kind of hooked on, but other than that, uh,
We have fun though.
yeah,
I don't want to know what kind of fun.
You probably wouldn't be into it. So
no,
each his own, I suppose.
yeah. So the two of you just generally make small talk and while you're sipping on your drinks. Um, the bartender floats back over and goes, "Are you two gonna want dinner or
Definitely.
okay?"
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, little food on your stomach may be good for you at this point.
Oh, I'm gonna keep on drinking though.
Well, well, yes, but by this time you've had maybe a good half dozen tankards of ale, and
It's my day off.
yeah, uh, actually, give me a. Let's see, what would that be? I guess give me a perception check first. Because you said you were gonna hang around drinking and see if you heard any useful information.
Oh well, I got an 11, but I have a -1.
Uh, so
I ain't hearing nothing. I'm just
you,
having a good time though.
you people throughout the day would come and sit next to you and tell you this rumor or that rumor, but they were almost as drunk as you were. So you it didn't really amount to much.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I still had a good time.
That's all that matters.
And at this point, you see Esme walk in the door after having been wandering around the city for the last 4 hours. Um,
Hey kid, over
Hello.
here. Over here.
She
You gonna
waves.
start singing?
Yeah.
Oh great.
After I eat.
what did Esma do for 4 hours?
This and that and that and this.
Not, nothing majorly important. You just wandered around the city for 4 hours.
Playing music, enjoying going to other bars, meeting with people, having some adventures, just having fun.
Making gold while you're at those other bars?
Hopefully. I don't know, Mike, did I make any gold?
Not on this particular day, but give me a persuasion roll.
Am I
Just
playing my am I playing my lute while I'm doing this?
yeah, you would have been.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because I got an 18, but I could, so that would have been a 20 plus my other persuasion. So,
Well, you didn't necessarily make any gold, but what you did do is three of the bar, three of the inns that you walked into, three of the taverns, want to book you for performances
Esma's just happy. She's smiling. And she
because
tells them, I got performances to do because I am so awesome.
and yeah, because your playing was nice enough and you were innocent enough that you persuaded the bartenders in three different bars to uh, book you. And luckily, it wasn't all on the same night.
Awesome.
Yeah. So for the next 3 nights after this one, you have performances in different bars around town.
Are we gonna be here enough time for that? I don't know, because we might be going on a dragon, a Conus egg, special egg mission or something.
We're gonna die.
It doesn't matter.
We're probably gonna die.
My daddy Genie will save us.
Is he coming with us?
I don't know.
With upon hearing this, you see the genie's head turn and go, "Are you kidding me?" Uh,
She smiles at him and says, "You wouldn't save us, Daddy Genie?"
I like you, Daddy. You're all right.
says the the only reason I would save you three is you keep giving me gold every night. Yeah. You keep renting rooms from me.
That's because you're our Daddy Genie.
What's gold if you're dead? I'd pay you.
So he just sort of turns his head between the two of you and has this look like, oh my God. Because Esme's up to her normal flirting, and Smite is so drunk she probably doesn't even know what day it is anymore. So,
The thing is, I don't care what day it is anymore.
yeah, well,
It's Daddy Day.
Every day is Daddy Day.
Yeah.
for her anyway, and it doesn't matter who it is. Uh,
Well, she has a soft spot for the genie.
and at this point, Anya's wishing she'd stayed at the temple, but much calmer and uh, quieter at the temple.
Have a drink.
I have a drink. I have
Drink.
Papa.
Have another one.
Have some ice cream. Esma pulls out the ice cream, asks for a spoon.
Okay, I'll take some ice cream.
She's like,
Bring it in.
3
my ale.
spoons, 3 bowls, Daddy Genie. Right now, right now.
Ice cream and ale. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat any dinner.
You will.
At this point, you don't care, but in the back of your mind, eh, there's this little queasy feeling going, with that much ale that I've drank, if I mix ice cream with it, what's actually going to happen? Uh, so,
And I don't want to drink too much vodka or I won't be able to do anything with whatever this job is.
Well, that's tomorrow. Don't worry. Tonight we eat, drink merry, because tomorrow we'll die.
Probably. We're probably gonna die. Probably.
the bartender brings the bowls over and says, well, that's the downside to adventuring.
You mean the fun side, because then we go to another adventure.
If you survive that one.
Well, if we die to go to another plane, right? So then that would be a new adventure.
I guess you could look at it that way.
Adventure, adventure, adventure.
I don't know if that's anything to look forward to. I'd like to retire.
Retire, Smire.
You'd have to do so many jobs and get paid so much money to be able to retire. You don't make enough to retire yet.
Or find a rich daddy. I think Esma has a good idea, actually. Like, find a rich daddy.
Esma looks at the genie and goes, mm-hmm. He can make all my wishes
says,
come true.
Well, if you could get him to his name to you.
he says, I do pretty well. I wouldn't call me rich, but
Well, you have all those wishes. You have all the wishes.
yeah, but
And the good looks.
Yeah, okay, on the yeah, I'm
I,
not sure about that.
Oh, sure.
yeah, but I have to get something in return for the wishes I give out.
You can have me.
You see the horns? You see the horns? You get the idea.
Esma doesn't mind sharing. Sharing is
Hey,
caring.
the, the
That is
genie,
something we're gonna have to negotiate, kid.
the, at that point, the genie chuckles a bit, leans over to Smite's ear and goes, you and I are closer in alignment than the other two over there are.
Sometimes you want to cross the alignment. It's fun.
I got that.
I'm not interested, so
Now, you two didn't hear that. He just said that in Smite's ear. It's like, because he's hearing all this flirting and going, you thinking about Esma and thinking to himself, you don't know what you would be getting into.
Maybe she does, or maybe she doesn't care.
I don't know. Didn't you just hook up with a
I
Titan
did.
giant or something the size of a mountain?
there's a Goliath.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a Goliath.
Whatever.
and that was fun.
I'm amazed you're still in one piece.
I can
Uh,
levitate.
in fact, given that, and then given the battle you were just in, you're surprised you're still in one piece.
Esma can levitate, so she can do a lot.
That's helpful.
Yeah, well, she's still tiny in comparison to what she's been playing with.
So that's the fun part.
So the bartender sort of, goes back into bartender mode and goes, what would the three of you like for dinner before your friend's performance starts?
I need protein, lots and lots of protein, because I will be doing acrobatics and dancing and juggling, and I've been working on my knife throwing, so.
For some reason, I feel like eating chicken.
Me too.
I don't know why.
Like,
And maybe like a nice loaf of bread would be.
Some mashed potatoes with gravy.
um, let's see. So that would be one rock, some potatoes, and a loaf of bread.
Got it.
The rock I could split between the three of you. There's enough.
That'll work.
Rock. I don't want a mineral. I want some meat.
Spelled ROC.
Right
Large,
to cock.
large. Think rooster only 10 times its normal size.
Okay.
Yes. Or more, actually.
Yeah, more than.
Because you can ride these things.
Like an ostrich.
Yeah. Yeah. They fly.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah,
They're gorgeous beings and
you
delicious.
you don't want to fight one though. Um, so he says, "I'll be back in a few minutes. I'll get your food started." And he floats into the kitchen and starts cooking. Says the rock will take a little bit, but other than that, you should be have plenty of time before your performance starts.
Esma says, "Thank you so much, Daddy Genie.
Yes, thank you, Daddy Genie.
I might just call you DG, Daddy Genie.
He's like, kids today.
Or just Daddy. I like Daddy. I think I'm gonna start calling you Daddy."
He's like, 300 years ago, kids weren't like this.
You're telling me.
I don't even know kids like this are like this. It's just Esma.
All that sugar she was exposed to in her early years.
Mhm.
The changes
Well,
in brain chemistry.
early years, you're talking last month.
Well, pretty early.
Cause he's like, well, you ever been around elf children, you'll know what I'm talking about. They think just because they're magic, they own the world.
No way, not elf kids.
Yeah.
Entitlement.
Elfman.
Elfman.
Like, if I didn't have to deal with their parents, I wouldn't even let them in the place.
Elf privilege.
Elf privilege. I like
Yeah.
that.
Seriously. we, we should make a t shirt that says that.
That'd be cute. F elf privilege.
Um,
And Elfman too.
so, uh, so at this point, after close to half an hour or so, he brings your 3 plates of food out and sets them on the bar.
That was quick.
Complete with a large loaf of bread, and he turns to you and goes, "You want a refill on your ale?"
Absolutely. Thanks,
So
Daddy.
he takes your tankard, floats over to the large barrel at the back corner of the bar, fills up your tankard and brings it over and sits it down by your plate.
Cheers.
And
Esma's like, "Just one, cause I'm about to perform."
yeah, if you're gonna be juggling and dancing, we don't need you falling all over the place. Um,
Especially if you're doing knife juggling.
yeah, knifed a drunken Genasi throwing knives. There's no way that could go wrong.
It's as terrifying as rock wrestling.
And then she smiles at the Daddy Genie and she says, "You know, we could always have our own performance afterwards."
He just sort of chuckles and puts and sets your tankard of ale next to your food. Goes over to Anya and goes, "What about you?"
I would take another thing out of vodka.
Okay. With that, he goes into the kitchen and comes back out a couple minutes later with a tankard of clear liquid and sets it on the bar next to your food.
So, Daddy Genie, did you ever get your order of that wine from the Apollo Temple?
I did. Um,
That's good.
is that by chance where you wandered off to today?
Yes, it was.
Next time you're over there, tell them that the order's almost gone.
Already? Wow.
Yeah. It sold really well.
Did you get commission?
No, I didn't.
You should get
Is that
commission.
God points?
Or did I?
You didn't work that out with the temple. You have to, the guy you were talking to that night in the vineyard, you have to go talk to him and set that up with him.
Enya, we
Um,
need gold. We're in trouble. We bought too many animals.
We don't need God points.
What two?
well, uh, the bartender's like, when would you happen to be going back over there again?
Probably when we get back from this job we're trying to do.
If we live.
If I live, I'll probably go back over there.
You should probably go first and get a commission.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know how, because we're doing this and then we're going to sleep, then we're leaving.
Well, you could always stop there on your way out of town tomorrow.
Okay, on the
Morning.
way out of town, we'll stop there.
The sun god gets up early.
And this is a fact that you don't care for very much. Because the sunshine keeps waking you up. And tomorrow morning in particular is going to be rough on you considering how much you drank tonight.
It'll be okay.
So,
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna help with you being so drunk.
We're just walking.
actually, you're the small part of your brain that is still sober is hoping that your cleric has a lesser restoration spell handy for morning. But
Esma might still have some stuff because you know how she just eats and eats and eats and gets sick. So she might have some still to share.
so,
You know what, kid? I think you're getting better at flirting.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I wish Daddy Genie would just make me happy right before I die, but Daddy Genie keeps saying no.
Guilt trips aren't.
Oh, does he actually say no, or he just doesn't answer?
I think that's a no.
the bartender is, you notice the bartender is purposely trying to avoid hearing the conversation between the three of you.
Esma's just thirsting for Daddy Genie. What can I say?
And also at this point, the place full dinner rush has occurred and the place is quite full. You're actually going to have to move a few tables, excuse me, to be able to get the room that you need to do your performance
Okay.
because it is full in here.
That way Esma loves it. All the attention is on her.
Are you gonna start?
Sure. How do I do? Mike, how well does Esma do?
Well, first, describe what Esma does.
Esma decides to do her fire act. So she grabs her fire, lights her things, and starts juggling it, not caring that it might hit the roof, because she figured she could do a water spell if anything happens. And then she decides to call in someone, and she starts throwing knives at them. And then she does a song. She sings about the misadventures they had, and how Smite ran away, and so did Esma and Enya with their animals following.
Because I'm smart.
Is, is the person you're using as a target for your knife act one of your other adventurers, or is this person just a stranger that you
A
pulled out of the
stranger
audience?
who
It's not me.
volunteered. You know how you do that? You're like, who wants to be a part of the act? And then they say yes, and then you're like, I got a knife.
I hope you missed them with the knife.
Well, that's what we're about to find out. First, First, I want a persuasion roll from you to see if you can persuade the person to actually stand there while you throw knives at them.
Okay, am I also playing my lute when I call him forward?
I would say you would be.
Okay.
And is the person drunk? Because I would
20!
say roll with advantage, but I guess you don't need it.
Got a 20. Well, I got
Like,
the plus the
nice.
3 persuasion. So I got a
Uh,
20.
okay, so they actually, they actually, for some bizarre reason, agree to this because they don't see too many Genasis in town to begin with. And then seeing one who wants to throw knives at you is a whole other thing. Uh, but you persuade them to stand there and let you do this. Now, give me a performance check, which
So
is on your.
natural 20 plus 3. So 23.
So you actually pull all of this off. There's no damage to the bar. There's no damage to the person who immediately after you're done with that section of your performance, they like rapidly return to the table they were sitting at. They're like, I survived.
And then Esma winks at the genie and says, "You like my knife play?"
He says, as far as knife play goes, you have a lot to learn.
She does.
And goes back to the bar to pouring drinks for people.
One of these days I'm gonna hurt someone.
Uh,
Badly.
Probably.
that's what the bartender's afraid of. Yeah.
But we have a cleric,
He's like,
so.
then I'm gonna have to deal with it. Uh,
So how much coin did I get? How much did people like it?
I'm gonna find that out.
Because, you know, Esma likes baubles and she wants to buy another bauble.
You gotta feed that snake.
Yes, I do.
That's the good thing about it. There are rats everywhere.
Actually, I think Esma feeds her snake a little too much.
Yeah. He's actually starting a horde in the corner of your room.
Gross.
putting them away for storage for later.
Oh,
It's just
gross.
like, I will always feed you. Even if I die, I'll come back as a ghost and feed you because you're my snaky.
The snake is like, see this pile over here? I have enough food for a year and a half here. Because snakes eat about once a month.
And the snake's like, you keep putting me in danger. And yourself.
Yeah. It's like, mm, you make 7 gold and 2 silver.
7 gold and 2 silver. Awesome. That's the most I've ever made. I gotta do more death-defying acts and almost potentially kill people more often.
Yeah, well, you kill someone, you won't get nothing.
And maybe I'll use that money to get a costume so I can look the part. A D&D version of spandex and glitter.
I picture like an
Um,
ice skating costume with like one sleeve and then just like sheer mesh and like
Yeah, exactly.
chiffon and
We'll make it blue so it matches his
oh,
skin.
it'll look
So
like
it
you're
looks
naked
horrible.
but sparkly.
Yes.
with the materials you're thinking about, I don't know that you could do that without it being magically done. Because I don't think they have chiffon and all that stuff. But you could have
Oh,
it.
velvet.
You could have it magically done where at very as you do various things, it magically lights up and stuff.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Or blue flames appear and it looks like you're on fire. But
Ah, Esma's happy.
You're always happy.
What? Since when?
It never stops.
I said, when
uh,
it's not happy.
you you have to decide whether it's happy or just slightly
Deranged?
slightly just mentally off. But
That's more pit.
yeah,
Esma might be a little bit deranged.
but that's for a conversation between the three of you. Um, so after Esma's um, performance, I think this would be a good place to take our break.
Alright. For how
And
long?
then when we get back, we'll see what the three of these do after that. Um, 8:45.
Perfecto. See you then.
We only ran
Good
a
night.
couple. We only ran a couple minutes over. That's pretty good.
This is so good. I'll forget all the Wanna go pee-pee? Are you begging? Are you begging for begging? Dallas, you want some chocolate? You can have some chocolate, boy. I love you, Bear. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Welcome back to this episode of Fallen Dragons, episode 1, a very special egg. Um, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the people in the chat. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We may not get to them till after the stream, but you know, let us know whether you like the episode, what you liked about it, or any general questions. Um, we're a new stream, and we're happy to have you there. So,
Awesomely possum.
apparently, Enya has wandered off momentarily. There she is.
She
Uh,
liked my performance so much she just had to go and get more drunk.
Constructive feedback is absolutely welcome as well.
No, unfortunately, my dog had to have her meds.
Yeah.
How's Josie doing?
She's good.
Dallas is being really good. I guess giving him a treat right before we did the stream was a good idea.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
As you'll find out if you don't already know, the three of them have dogs. so every now and again, the dog contingent will make itself known in one way or another.
Especially my deli dog. He
Yeah,
likes to be a part of the stream.
And every once in a while, Josie does it too.
there's one of them now.
And if you look back there, there's the other one.
Yeah.
Aw.
and there's Dallas. So now you know all three of them. But and with that, we're gonna jump back into the game. So by the time Esme's performance is over, it's going on 8 or so, and slowly the people having dinner finish their dinner and head out into the night to go wherever they're gonna go. You still have a few stragglers that are sitting at tables having after dinner drinks. And you know a few dwarves that pretty much hang out at the corner tables around the hearth, because you've seen them face down on the table many mornings when you've come down for breakfast.
What was about breakfast? You know Esma, she likes food.
So, what are the three of you currently doing?
So Esma doesn't sleep.
I'm giving the scraps of my chicken meat or the rock to my animal.
Okay. I'm sure he's quite happy with that. Not quite the same as a raw steak, but he'll take it. What are the other two of you doing?
Esma's glowing because she did a good
This
performance.
point, I have been drinking all day.
Yep.
And I think maybe I should go to bed.
The bartender looks over at you and says, "Yeah, that would probably be a good idea about now." Uh,
You know what, Daddy? I like you, Daddy. You get me. You really get me.
I'm a good bartender.
He's a good daddy. Oh, she Esma's hoping.
All right, well, good night. Good night.
I will see you. I will see you in the morning if you're capable of getting up.
I help Mike get up the stairs so she doesn't fall down.
Oh, thank you. I hope you get some God points for this.
Esma is flirting with the genie, hoping that there might be another performance in her room. Because she's glowing from the wonderful performance she just did.
He says, "You you put on a good show tonight, little one."
She smiles at him and goes, "Thank you."
I'm surprised you didn't burn the place down, however.
She leans up towards him and says, "I think so. I thought so too. For a moment, I was afraid I was going to burn something."
You need to, next time you need to warn me if you're going to do fire as part of your act. So,
Daddy Genie just needs to make the floor and the ceiling fireproof.
yeah. All right. Got to find a spell for that. Uh,
He's a genie.
well, yeah, but he doesn't know. He doesn't keep all the spells he knows at the top of his head. He has books and such. So, um,
Just wish it.
Yeah. Give me your name and I'll wish it for you.
nice try, but no, not happening.
That wasn't so smooth, but good try.
Uh, I've had many people try and find out my name, and I have yet to give it to anyone.
Esma's like, one day. One day. It's her goal in life.
You don't want to know the price you would have to pay for that.
Esma would be willing to pay it.
Eh, and he says, and I'm not talking gold either.
Esma's like, I'm not talking about gold either.
So, but he does say that he will, anytime you guys are here in between your adventures, shall we say, um, that you can perform at dinner rush if you're here.
She's like, I have 3 other engagements the next couple of nights, but after that, I'm totally down.
Then you'll be the house performer when you're here.
Hey, don't tell them about the fire before you do it.
I
Ask
won't.
for forgiveness, not permission.
Well, he's already told her that he needs to warn her, or she needs to warn him before she does that.
Well, at your next 3 gigs, yeah,
Ah,
that
yeah.
gets you good tips.
Because Esma wants to do this thing where you do a fire animal on someone. So she wants to do another fire dance type thing. Because she loves fire. Even though she's an air genasi, she loves fire.
Well, and that knife thing was kind of scary.
Esma knows how to use a couple of daggers. She got a couple of them from the last round, so she
I
wanted to use them.
it's like I'm surprised the guy didn't run.
If he ran, he would have got hurt. You gotta stay still.
So I should have a message for you from Konos by when you get up for breakfast in the morning.
Esma walks slowly up the stairs and longingly at Daddy Genie and says, "Darn it, next time."
And he sees her look back and he gets this truly evil grin on his face. It's like she just doesn't understand.
She's 16.
You gotta be careful what you wish for.
So the two of you, or three of you now, Anya helps Smite to her room. Are you gonna make sure she gets into bed, or are you just gonna open the door and leave her to herself?
I help her get into whatever she wears that night, and helps her to bed.
I'm wearing this. I'm wearing this. Again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I help her to bed.
Does Smite have armor?
Yeah.
Is it metal
I think
or
the chest plate might be. I think it's leather. Maybe you help me take off the leather.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna get you very hot.
It would be, even if your armor's only leather, it would be very uncomfortable to sleep in.
Yeah.
So
I like collapse into the bed like really awkwardly, like my butt's up in the air and like my neck is at a weird angle. But I'm in bed and I just instantly pass out.
right. And then
Esma's still hyped from the performance. So she tries to go to sleep, but she can't because she's an insomniac. So she gets up and she decides to see the town while everyone's sleeping.
okay. And what, after Anya helps Smite into her room, what does she do?
After I see that she's in bed, I go back to my room with my animal, and we go to sleep.
Okay. So the two of you are unconscious. Now, Esma, you say you get up and start roaming around the city.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any purpose in mind other than trying to wear yourself out so you can go to sleep?
Trouble. She's like Pinky to take over the world. Like
Oh
you do
my.
every night. Take over the world.
Okay.
No, she's just
And those of you in the chat that are old enough may have just recognized the Pinky in the Brain reference she just made. One of my favorite cartoons, by the way.
Mine too.
It's okay. Not one of my favorite, but it's still pretty good.
It's an absolute classic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wanted the Brain to take over the world, but he could never manage it. But So you're just wandering around looking to get into trouble.
Like every night when everyone
Okay.
else is asleep.
Okay. Um,
And she's looking to make a quick buck because she wants more pretty bubbles.
and 7 gold just won't buy them for you.
No, she just spent a lot of money on her snaky.
That's true.
We spend more than we make on average.
Yeah. And now with animals, you will.
And you put a teenager in charge of the money, so it's not the
That's
smartest
true.
decision.
Smite may want to become babysitter just to guard her money.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Um,
our money.
yeah, but
But
if
yeah,
left,
y'all bought some crazy expensive creatures that
if
eat and shit.
Well, it did help us in the
if
battle.
if left to the young one, you may not have any money left.
That's it. Come
So,
on. No more spending money. We need to build it up.
We do
so,
have a never-ending ice cream bowl, though, so
And
you
we
know.
are making money from it.
well, well, yeah, you'll never starve to death. That's one thing you've got going for you. Uh,
The good news is we have
We have an ending flask as well, so we won't ever be thirsty either.
well, actually, it's alcohol, so we're gonna be always thirsty.
you'll you'll eventually
Like always thirsty.
you'll eventually dehydrate yourself. Um,
We do have 300 gold, 305 gold, and 0.79 silver.
Not too bad.
No.
even after even after buying your animals and all that.
Yep. Because of
That's not.
the hobgoblin job.
Yeah,
We made
yeah,
250 gold.
that that's true. That was a
Esma's good with numbers, but she likes to spend.
that
Money doesn't
that
mean anything.
that was a decent job, and it wasn't that hard, really.
No, and we didn't actually touch even the money that we earned from the job to pay for it. We ended up touching we ended up
Honestly,
spending the money we found on the goblins.
I think the most expensive thing we did was when we decided to buy all that jewelry.
Yeah.
It's so worth it.
But Esma did get a good deal on it.
Yeah.
So, Esma,
Now,
give me a perception check.
Alrighty, be
everyone.
perceptive.
Just,
Okay.
just Esma, because she's the only one up wandering around right now.
I got a 2 plus a 3, so I got a 5 perception.
You're you're wandering around in the dark in the city, and you're not noticing much.
Dang you, dice.
You made money on your performance, though, so.
I did.
So,
So,
and depending on the area, excuse me, the area of town you wandered into, you're glad you're not noticing much.
Or maybe Esma wishes to see stuff.
So,
I think she has the
how
adventure streak. She wants to see adventures and have adventures.
how how long do you wander around? What parts of the city do you wander into?
She starts at the good parts. She goes and tries to see if she can meet the Goliath again, because she's thirsty for man attention. And
Uh,
then she goes and just travels around.
by the time you pass the shop where the Goliath was, it's closed and he's gone. You could leave a note for him and stick it on the door if you like.
Okay, she says, I'm up all night. Meet me in my room if you get this. Smiley face hearts. And then she draws like two little bunnies and she leaves. And then she sticks her dagger on it.
Uh, Give me a perception check.
18. She's more perceptive now.
You pretty much you pretty much think that he probably won't get this till morning. But, when he comes into work, you'll see it. But, um, so you just wander off. Um, as you keep going, you notice it's getting slightly lighter as you go, and you realize that it's almost morning.
No sleep again tonight. And I didn't take over the world. Tomorrow,
No.
Brain. Or Pinky. Tomorrow. Although I always thought Pinky was the smart one.
he he had more common sense. He'd been hit in the head too many times, but he still had more common sense in the end,
Yeah.
because he always asked why. Never got a really good answer though. um, but so as you start seeing it get brighter over the horizon, do you head back to the inn or what do you do?
I guess I'll head back in the inn because she's hoping to see Daddy Genie before she goes off on her mission.
Well, so you head back to the inn after a sleepless, mostly uneventful night. And the bartender is, as usual, floating behind the bar.
Esma looks at him with moon eyes and just goes, one day, one day. And
Is like,
she asks for some rum and some coffee to put in the some rum for the
okay,
coffee.
uh,
If they had Baileys, she'd do Baileys, but I don't think D&D has Baileys.
not in the standard 5e edition, no. Being homebrew, it could be in my world if you really want it, but
I think Esma would want it.
um, the
Me, I personally
bartender,
like peach schnapps, but that's just me.
the the bartenders uh, hands you the cup of coffee, but doesn't hand you the rum and says, "Hang on, I've got a surprise." And he goes back into the kitchen and comes back out with this uh, flask that looks like it's made out of pottery. And he pours a little bit into your coffee and points a finger at it, and it magically stirs. And it's sort of a white looking liquid. And he goes, "Try that."
Esma takes a big gulp and goes, yummy.
it's basically, it tastes like Bailey's and coffee would taste.
And then I was just thinking, he really loves me. He really does. I just have to make him realize it.
And and with that, seeing the look on your face, he thinks to himself, "Oh my God, this is getting worse by the day."
You might as well just punish her so she'll get over it.
and he and he thinks to himself, "Too bad she's so young. She still needs the soul she's got."
She sold it for the loot years ago. Just joking, it was cool.
Not with what he's planning to do. Uh, so, uh, you just sort of stay there. Do you attempt to get any sleep at all? Or?
No. The thing is with insomnia, once you hit a certain point, you don't even try to go to sleep.
Yeah,
You just ride out the wave
no.
until you can go to sleep. So she's just gonna waltz around. She grabs her knife, starts playing with it. You know, throwing it up in the air, catching it, throwing it up in the air, catching it, throwing it up in the air, catching it, waiting for her party to wake up.
Okay. Um, so, Enyo, as the sun comes up and bursts through your window, and you are blasted awake by sunshine, what do you do?
I roll over and try to go back to sleep, but then 5 minutes later I get up and go downstairs and see who's around and see that Esma was down there already.
So, you grab a table, or what do you do?
I set the bar.
Bartender says, "Ah, you're up too, I see."
Yep.
What about your other companion?
She must be out still.
So,
Esma's like, I know the feeling. Let her rest. And when she wakes up, I have a potion for her. I still have 3 left.
I'm still on the bed with my neck all weird on my ass finger,
yeah.
rolling.
Um. So, the sun bursts through the flimsy curtain covering your window.
Curse you, Apollo!
No cursing Apollo.
And you hear in your head, "Good luck with that." You've been around Enya too long. Uh, uh,
Oh my head.
yeah. And you,
Something to drink.
what now?
I need something to drink.
Uh,
Does Esma hear Smite cursing the gods?
no,
Okay.
you're too far away. Um,
Like I arrange myself slightly. I'm still pretty rough looking, and I head towards the dining room.
give me a uh, dexterity saving throw to see if you can actually get out of bed and stand properly.
I got a 12.
you barely slide out of bed, and you catch yourself before you hit the ground. Um, and you struggle, but you make it to your feet.
Dallas.
Maybe I should
Uh,
throw up.
and you, as you stand upright, the weight from your head
Come here.
combined with the angle that your neck was when you were asleep, your neck now is now screaming worse than you've ever felt before. In fact, it's only rivaled by the headache that you've got.
I think I felt worse before. I just need to get some water or some ale or something.
Well, there is a basin of water in your room, and you probably do have uh, a water skin in your equipment that you carry. So
I
if you
I can't deal with that right now. I just scoop it up with my hands and put it on my face a couple of times. Uh, I need a drink.
so g- give me another dex check to see if you can walk down the hall
I don't like these dice. I'm changing.
and make it to the tavern.
Oh, that. Not one. Not the,
you
those are worse.
you get to the door, and with your lack of awareness, your foot hits the edge of the door and you go tumbling face down out into the hallway in front of your room.
Actually, I think that might have helped my neck.
Does Esma or Enya see it or no?
I was just leaning up against the wall, sitting on my ass for a minute.
It didn't, however, help the cloudiness in your head.
Does Esma or Enya know see anything or hear
Okay.
anything or no?
I need hair of the dog. Everything will be fine. I'm still kind of like a little spinny and
Yeah.
I am about ready to crawl to the bar. Are there any like hand railings or stairs or I'm just gonna hang on to the wall
Yeah.
and make my way to the bar.
There are no handrails, but yeah, you can
Leaning on the wall.
slowly, keeping a hand on the wall, you make your way. You um give me a yet another actually give me an athletics check to make
There's
to
stairs.
to see if you make it down the stairs.
I got a 13.
You actually, by some miracle which you don't understand, may make it safely down the stairs. And you see, even though your head is throbbing and your vision somewhat clouded, you see your two friends uh, sitting at the bar.
I can definitely hear him too.
Yeah. Um,
So I
it
go,
was as you sit down, uh, the bartender puts a tankard of ale in front of Enya, and and at least to your perception, the noise is just deafening when he does that.
I think that tankard is for me. You get me? I knew you get me. I grab the tankard and take a big glug.
You grab the tankard out from in front of Enya, not even caring that it,
Mm,
you know,
No,
it's
that's
like,
for me.
and Enya's,
My head on the table.
I'll
and
punch you. Or
and
steal
you
my cigarette.
and you just sort of stares. It's like, what the? Yeah.
Esma says, "Are you okay?
My head hurts.
I
At
got
which
something."
point the bartender uh, sympathetically just hands you another tankard full of ale. And he sort of idly points over at Smite uh, and just sort of chuckles a little bit. He's like, I knew this was going to happen. I was waiting for morning to see this happen.
I deserve it. I deserve it. I earned this. It was worth it.
And now you get to go out adventuring with this. Oh boy.
Esma's like, "I got
So
something for
we're
ya."
just gonna be walking. Maybe we'll get a ride.
Esma goes into the bag.
And he
And
goes, oh, speaking of that, um, I talked to Konos earlier and told him that the three of you were interested in his um, little job. He said to meet him at the cemetery in about an hour and a half.
You can do it. Thanks, Daddy.
I swear I'm going to have to make a t-shirt, I guess.
Esma goes into the bag and says, "I got something for you." And she takes out a potion and throws it to Smite. Makes you feel 110%.
Thanks. Glug, glug, glug,
And then
glug,
she's like,
glug.
"Oh, I think I gave you the tranquilizer." I don't know. It's either the one that makes you feel better or the tranquilizer you got for me. One or the other.
Always label your potions.
Actually, Smite, roll me a d4.
Oh no. It's so hard to pick up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a
I,
T.
I, okay. That is in fact the healing
Yes,
potion.
thank God.
Be glad it wasn't the poison.
50. Yeah.
But
Well, don't you have that labeled in your ring?
Oh, we don't have the poisons yet, but we will once we meet the
Oh, yeah.
drow.
That'll be soon, I think. If we live. Oh, my headache is starting to lift a little bit. My neck still hurts, but I'm coming around. I drink some more ale and ask Daddy for some bacon pancakes.
bacon pancakes. Now, is this he looks at you quizzically for a second. Is this pancakes with bacon on the side, or are you wanting pancakes with chunks of bacon in them?
In them
That actually sounds good.
all together like a.
Um, he says, I can do that.
You can do anything, Daddy. You really can.
Mm-hmm.
Pancakes and bacon are simple. So, um, he goes back and does this. And goes, he yells from the kitchen, what would the other two of you like while I'm back here?
Pancakes,
You.
pancakes, bacon in the middle, and bacon on the side.
Esma's like, you, but if I can't have that, then I want some bacon and pancakes too.
He's like, yes, I was specifically meaning breakfast.
Esma's like, I'm going to wear him down. He got me some delicious coffee, so it must be working.
Oh, coffee. Coffee is a great idea. Coffee, please. Black like my heart.
So, about 10 minutes later, he comes back with plates of bacon and pancakes. You see him pour this clear liquid over the top. It's not quite clear, it's slightly cloudy, but mostly clear. He goes, here you go.
What is it?
It's liquid sugar. Yeah, he doesn't have maple syrup, so.
I don't want syrup on mine. I just want the cake and the bacon.
I want the liquid syrup. Liquid sugar.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of sugar in me still.
Esma leans forward and says, I want the syrup. And she grabs it.
And I heard somebody mention coffee.
Please. Please.
He goes back into the kitchen. Couple minutes later, he comes out and puts a tankard of coffee next to your plate.
Thank you. I think this is the best coffee I've ever had in my life.
So,
I'm coming around.
yeah, make me a medicine check, actually.
For who?
Smite.
Oh, I got a 14 plus -1. I got 13.
With the coffee and the healing potion that Esma gave you, you are starting to feel better. It'll take some time, but you'll get over this.
I have felt worse, so I think I'm gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was a rough week last week. I deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, I deserve all of it. I need a break.
Well, some people need a vacation after the vacation.
That was me.
Always do.
Yeah. So,
After Vegas, I needed a vacation from the vacation.
For sure.
Vacation from a vacation, huh?
Oh, it was fun.
So, you take a good half hour to eat your breakfast, and the genie comes over and goes, It's 7:45. You guys might want to take off.
Are we gonna have our rooms held?
I think we usually do.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We can always come back and eat and see Daddy.
Yeah.
You know, we should find out if we can get a discount because we always stay here and we always rent rooms even when we're not.
Well,
Esma
he's
looks at Daddy and says, "Can we rent rooms by the month, Daddy dear?
At a discount rate?
a
At a discount rate?
month.
At a discount rate? Wink, wink."
Let's see. That'd be at a gold a piece for night. That'd be normal price would be 30 a piece per month. So that'd be 90 total. If you got 60 gold on you, I'll rent 3 rooms.
Do it, Daddy dude.
All meals and drinks included for a month.
Why not 45? Half the discount.
That's a bit much.
We don't want to piss off. We don't want to piss off Daddy.
Your friend had almost practically burned the joint down last night, so
Well, that's not my problem.
not so much.
That's her problem, not my problem.
You know, at 60, I'm giving you a 33% discount.
That's pretty good.
No other adventurers that I deal with even get that. So
Esma grins and says, "Daddy loves me," and gives him the gold because she has the gold, and she drops it on the bar and says, "Here you go, Daddy."
he's like, "Bah!" But he turns around and makes the expression so she doesn't see it, but he's good. That one was kind of too much for him.
Oh, my head hurts.
but he does take the gold and put it away.
Well, considering we'd probably spend that on food,
Yeah.
we don't have to carry your stuff. It's fine.
No.
And then we could also leave most of our stuff here and only bring our venturing pack since we keep on buying baubles.
Lovely thing.
We should buy like a room or something, or a house one day.
A storage locker somewhere.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? How can we never do that when we spend our money all the time?
Actually, you remember we were talking about building that casino one day when we have all that gold. So.
That's where it's at.
Castles and keeps cost anywhere from 20 to 25 to 50,000 gold to build. So if you guys are intending on something like that, you've got a lot of money to make.
And stop spending a lot of money.
So.
But the baubles call my name.
Maybe we could pay Tyndall off to fabricate something for us from magic dust.
That's true. You know, we could make him build the tent and we could go in and it's just big. And it's like a palace.
There is a spell for that. It's called Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion.
We should ask for that.
Yeah, and you know what might cost?
It's pretty high level though. So.
Yeah, I know. It'll probably never happen, but it's a wish.
Well, if you wanted Tyndall to cast it, there's no telling how much he would charge for it. You'd have to ask him something like that.
He likes us.
He does.
No, yeah, but he still wouldn't do it for nothing. So he is a businessman, by the way. Yeah.
It probably costs an arm and a leg.
Maybe we could give him a cut.
Yeah.
Deal him in as a partner.
Yeah. Give them a percentage of all our money we make from adventuring.
Oh, geez. No, 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 no.
You know.
Like a 1%. Not a lot, but something.
No.
Yeah, if we only make 250, that 1% is free.
Not that much.
Don't agents charge like 10 to 20%
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
15%.
their
Yeah.
fee for
Yeah.
operating the place?
So,
Idea.
so, the three of you head out the door. Um, now, as I recall, and you wanted to go to the vineyard behind the temple.
And see about getting commission to make some money.
Yeah. And so she goes off and does that and says she'll meet you at the graveyard in a little bit, or cemetery, excuse me. And so, what did the other two of you do while she's off doing that?
I'm gonna start making my way to the cemetery because it just seems like a nice, quiet place to lie down.
Okay. Jerry.
Hey,
And
that's
more,
A while to get there too, so
and more,
some people like to go on dates there.
in more ways than one.
Yeah.
So, um, well, is Esme going with Smite or?
Asma decides to clean up a little bit in her room, grab her snake, and then she decides to follow Smite.
Yeah.
But she's probably gonna annoy Smite just a little bit because she's gonna play her lute. But she's gonna play it nice and soft to make her feel better.
So as the two of you are headed toward the cemetery, uh, Anya walks up to the door of the Temple of Apollo and knocks on it, and the door opens, and Herrick, which you met yesterday, is standing. He says, "Ah, you're back. What can I do for you?"
I would like to know, if we can have a commission on the wine that for people to make orders of.
Well, you would have to talk to the vineyard master on that one. I'm not involved in that.
Okay, is he back in the vineyard?
Yes, he is.
Okay, well, I'll head back there then.
Okay. And you work your way through the hall toward the back of the temple. And you see Gareth, the vineyard keeper, uh, standing at the um, doorway, just sort of looking out over the vineyard, writing some things. So what do you do when you see him standing there?
I go, hello, Gareth.
Why, hello, Anya. How have you been?
I've been good. So I heard the bartender made an order of wine.
Yeah, um, he did. Um, Are you guys still staying over there? Or?
Yes, we are. Matter of fact, we just rented our rooms for a month.
Really?
Yep. Oh, by the way, he says his order is about out. He's almost out of wine.
Already? It hasn't been that long.
Yeah, he said it's been selling very well.
That's good to hear.
So, speaking of his order and stuff, since I'm the one that brought him into you, and anybody else I bring into you, can I get commission of that?
I think we could arrange something like that. And he looks at his notebook and flips through pages and says, I I think the temple could manage giving you a 10% commission on orders.
Oh, that's nice.
His last order was 2 cases because he just wanted to see how it would go. Did he specifically give you the size of an order that he wanted?
No, he didn't. He just said that his order is about up.
If it's if it's sold that well, why don't I double his order, and then if he needs more, we can work with that. So that'd be 4 cases. A bottle is 10 silver. So that'd be 60 silver a case. That'd be 240 silver for 4 cases. So your commission on that would be 24 silver.
Which does that translate to how much in gold?
A gold is 10 silver, correct?
I'm not sure.
I think it's 10 silver for gold. Because it's 2 electrum and 10 silver and 100 copper. So, if that's correct, that would be 2 gold and 4 silver. So, where are you guys off to?
To death. Well, I'm not there with her, but.
Says 2 gold and 2 silver, did you say?
2 gold and 4 silver.
Oh, 4 silver.
So, do you know what you're doing next?
Then I head back and I say thank you, Garth, and I will see you later. And heads back out and heads towards the cemetery to meet up with the other 2.
Okay. As you leave, Gareth looks at you rather quizzically because you didn't answer his last 2 questions. And
okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot. What were they again?
He basically asked you what you were doing next.
Oh, you meant okay. We are trying to find out what this job this person has and do this job for this guy. That's a wizard.
Okay. Well, be careful.
We'll try to.
Mm. With that, he says, um, good luck, and waves at you and turns back to his paperwork. And you said you head down to the cemetery?
Yep.
Oh. You get there and you meet up with the other two of them. Smite, are you literally laying down at the cemetery?
I am lying in the grass between a couple in the shade, between a couple of graves, and it's
Oh,
wonderful.
okay. So, and when you get there, you see Esma standing there and Smite laying flat on her back between two gravestones. Her eyes are closed, and you're like wondering if she's already dead. It's like,
Well, if she's dead, I don't know how we're gonna do this job.
I'm not much help anyway.
Esma's just playing a song,
you
trying to make everyone happy.
you figure Smite figured it's good practice for later.
We're gonna die.
But she says if she can get the pose down already, she's ahead of the game. So
I think I'll be comfortable, actually.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
at this point, you walking from a good 60 feet away coming toward you, you see the robes of the wizard that you saw in the bar yesterday.
Is he cute?
Eh, he's, I guess, cute in a Gandalf sort of way. He's
Oh, Gandalf is cute.
he's an older gentleman with white hair. Uh, he's not wearing a wizard hat. He thinks those are silly. So his long white hair reaches about the middle of his back. And he says, oh, okay, you two did make it.
We did. Because we want the gold and the honor.
Yes.
And the name recognition.
Honor.
He's like, to be young and silly again.
Energetic.
And I need to find out what happened to my father.
Can't help you with that one.
One day I'll find out.
But I will give you a few more details of what I'm looking for. This is the very special egg. I only know that one exists currently. It is the egg of a obsidian shadow dragon.
Woohoo!
Oh no.
It is solid black with a gray spider web type pattern. From what I've been able to research, I've never seen it myself.
I want to call the obsidian shadow dragon Lucky. Or Pete. defeat the magic dragon.
He says you're probably gonna need lucky. You should call one of your group that before it's over. From what I know and what research I've been able to do, this dragon lived in the Shadowfell.
Great.
Ooh.
Oh, great. And how do we get to the shadow field?
Fell or
There,
felled field?
Shadowfell,
Oh, okay.
Fell. There are several entrances to the Shadowfell in this area. One in the town of Glenfell. There's one in this cemetery.
Oh,
We should
And
go in this. We should go in the cemetery now and do a séance.
he points to a very large mausoleum at the far diagonal corner of the cemetery. There's one in there.
Let's go. Do we get half the gold now?
I could manage that.
Half the gold.
He says, however, this entrance to the Shadowfell is guarded, as they all are. You're not going to just be able to walk in there.
where did you say the other entrance was? Winfell?
Glenfell is a town on the other side of the forest, about a day's walk from here.
Is it guarded also?
Yeah.
It's worse.
Oh, great.
From
What guards the entrance?
to what?
The Shadowfell.
Which entrance are you speaking of?
The one here in the cemetery.
I do not know.
Okay.
I've never been in there.
Then how do you know it's guarded?
See the shadow coalescing around the door?
I think we should believe the magician or the wizard when he tells us it's guarded and it's dangerous. Just saying.
And as you look over, you see what looks like a dark gray fog seeping out of the bottom of the mausoleum door.
Yeah, looks pretty evil. So you said there's 3 entrances. Where's the third?
Shadowfell is what he said. Shadowfell, Glenfell, and the cemetery.
No, the Shadowfell is where the egg is.
Never mind.
The Shadowfell is where you have to go.
Okay.
Glenfell is one. The cemetery is the other.
And the third?
The third involves a ship voyage to the city of Alma.
And we're not very good when ship voyages happen.
Oma? OMA?
Yeah. It's a port town on the bottom of the continent that's east of here. It would
far away.
Yes. It would take 3 to 4 days by ship.
Well, sounds like the mausoleum then.
Yeah, that's the closest one.
Yeah.
Do you know how heavily guarded that one is?
I have not been in it.
How about the one in Glenfall?
That one, uh,
He said it was worse than the one at the mausoleum.
there's a job post out for that one. Um, the grayish, dark grayish fog you see coming out of the mausoleum is slowly enveloping the entire town of Glenfell. Most of its inhabitants have run away. The ones who haven't have died.
Oh my.
Um, it is your choice as to which one you want to do. There is like I said, a job posting for Glenfell. It's another 2,000 gold on top of what the wizard's giving you for the egg if you want to go that route. Um,
No.
it's up it's completely up to you.
What do you guys want to do?
I said
think,
let's go with the cemetery one. It's the one that's right here.
yeah, if we were maybe higher powered, and I think possibly, but I mean, like, if we say we go and we run away, and hopefully we'll come back the way we came in, and we'll be right by the end.
Me too. We could. We've learned how to run. We're pretty good at it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Do you want me to have my shadow servant come in and check it out? Maybe she could pass through it.
That might be an idea. Maybe she's not a shadow in the Shadowfell.
That would be so cool. I can actually talk to her and see her.
And with that, I think that it's 10 o'clock, so I think we're going to end game there for the night.
Okay.
Next time.
So, what were you wanting to say, Dusty?
Oh,
Oh, we're still on stream if there's anything you guys want to say before we turn off. Just so you guys know.
thanks everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed our first episode. As you can see, it's going to get pretty heavy for these three fairly quickly. So come back for episode 2 and see what they get into and if they can get out of it. My money's on the DM, but that's just me.
I'm on Esma, Enya, and Smite. We're pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm with the characters in Esma and Enya and Smite. Let's say we'll rock.
We should call ourselves C, S-E-E, because it matches our name. I'm down for C.
But we're a new stream, so please give us a like and give us a follow on Twitch. The episode will be up on by Tuesday on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
so
we'll have the subscribe after this now that we'll have an actual episode to put the subscribe to.
Yeah. So if you want to go over and watch that on Tuesday, you can give us a subscribe on YouTube because that helps like and subscribe. We're looking to build our channel and build our community and just have fun. So, and you'll see all of our contacts here at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And so thanks again for watching, and I hope you come back next week and uh, have a good rest of your night. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Hmm. Okay.